How to create a Gantt chart in Google Sheets. A Gantt chart is a commonly used type of bar chart that illustrates the breakdown of a project's schedule into tasks or events displayed against time. Google Sheets has a handy feature to help you create a Gantt chart for your project. First, create a small table and insert a few headings into the cells to get started. You'll need one for tasks, start date, and end date. Fill in each cell with the project's details. It should look like this. Next, make a similar table off to the side or underneath the previous one that will serve as a way to calculate the graphs in each portion of the Gantt chart. The table will have 3 headings to generate the Gantt chart: tasks, start day, and duration, in days, of the task. It should look like this. After you get the headings in place, you need to calculate the start day and duration. The tasks heading will be the same as above. You can simply copy the cells underneath, directly reference them, or rewrite them if you want. To calculate start on day, you need to find the difference between each task's start date and the start date of the first task. To do this, you first convert each date into an integer and then subtract it from the first task's start date, less than task start greater than less than first task start greater than. It will look like this. In the formula, the less than first task start greater than is always going to be an absolute value. Google Sheets uses the $sign, character to lock a row or column, or, in our case, both, when referencing a value. So, when we copy the same formula for subsequent cells, which we do in the next step, using the $sign like this makes sure it always references that value in B4, which is the start of the first task. After you press the Enter key, click on the cell again and then double-click the little blue square. Like magic, Sheets will use the same formula, but making sure to reference the correct cell above for the cells directly underneath, completing the sequence. Now, to calculate the duration, you need to determine how long each task is going to take. This calculation is a little bit more tricky and finds the difference between a few more variables. The formula will resemble the format, less than end date greater than less than first task start date greater than, less than start date greater than less than first task start date greater than, and will look like this. As before, you must convert each date format into an integer as you reference it in the formula. Also, variables that will stay the same through all of the cells are referenced using the $sign characters. From the chart editor pane on the right of the window, click the drop-down box under Chart Type, scroll down, and click on Stacked Bar Chart. Finally, click on any of the light red bars. Click on the color selector, and then choose None from the top of the color selector. After, head on over to the Customize tab in the chart editor pane. Click on Chart and Axis Titles, and give your chart a name. Text source, howtogeek.com.